close your eyes, understanding the journey with practice. So, eyes are closed, body is steady. Become aware of that the body is steady, and mind is looking inside. Add the knowledge there why the mind should look inside, to find the real self. You know the story of banana farmer and the monkey. So when the sense organs and the mind are obsessed and attached with anything outside, we forget. We think everything is so normal, but behind the scene, this mind is constantly working with attachment, likes and dislikes, and that causes lot of challenges and the problems. So we have that knowledge in the mind. With that knowledge, the monkey could not take out the bananas from the narrow opening of the basket, and he was thrashed. Prakriti, the nature, the world outside thrashes us. And that thrashes is experienced as pain, anxiety, fear, insecurities, and host of other challenges. So now go back to the practice. Being comfortable. Now you see that we simply go back to practice. Being comfortable. Looking at the neck joint, feeling the sensation, and sensation, comfort, and steadiness. Why steadiness? Now apply the knowledge. Why steadiness? So first thing, why sensation? To bring the mind near, closer. Why comfort? We need the state of being comfort. Why? To discover our real self. Otherwise the mind will continue to wander outside. And why steadiness? So that we are able to maintain our awareness and attention inside. Again ask why. So knowledge is simple, that real self is steady all the time. So if mind experiences sensation, comfort, and steadiness, it can easily discover it. Sometimes people think that it is such a simple step. No, it is the highest step. Look at the shoulder joints being there, feel the sensation, comfort, and steadiness. My friend, when any step is backed by the knowledge, clarity, conviction, If any practice is backed by knowledge, right practice, it brings the result here. Now, understanding the journey of the life. So move the mind on the entire body from the top of the head to the toes, being there, feeling, knowing. What do you know? Sensation, comfort, and steadiness. If the mind is still wandering, what knowledge will work? Simple. Knowledge is realized in stages. We should keep in the mind. We should introduce. Come on, mind. This knowledge will be realized in stages. Seed cannot become the tree overnight. You see, I have repeated hundreds of times. So what will happen to the mind? Mind says, okay, now I understand what you are saying. No issue. Now let us go to being carefree. So again, you see, this is another step. So what we understand being carefree, thoughts are coming and going, and we have not to pay attention to the thought, but the mind needs an attention. Mind wants to do something. So we say, okay, what you do something? When any thought comes, look behind the thought. Thought? Okay, thought is there, no problem. Look behind the thought. What is behind the thought? It is space. So every time any thought comes, you separate. What do you separate? Content and container. Content and container. What is the container? The space. What is the content? Is the thought. You have to simply become aware that these two are different. Only one container and trillions and billions of the thoughts that comes and goes away from the mind. Thought comes and goes away from the mind. Glass, you can, in any tumbler, you can put the water, drink, soda, anything. That is what is the container. Container is untouched by any content. Is it the same thing with you? If that is the case, at this moment, you are in the state of awareness. So we are comfortable, we are carefree. Now being casual. Being casual means you're not doing anything, and we become aware of the knowledge. What is the knowledge? The sense organ cannot know real self. Become aware if any sense organ brings an image or feeling in the mind. Aware, simply aware if the mind is acting like any sense organ. What do you mean? You see image, mind is acting like an eye. You feel this inside. Mind is acting like a skin, smell. And we are aware. What we are aware? That the sense organs cannot know the real self. And we are carefree. Mind cannot know real self. Mind knows by thought, by feeling, by emotions. And they all come from outside. Real self is inside. Journey from outside to inside. This is the meaning. The knowledge is settled. If the knowledge is not settled, the practice does not become deeper. In mob, you can be alone. We know that. And in being alone, we can be with all crazy thoughts. Understand that point. Okay, I understood that. If your mind says, yes, I understood that, wonderful. Now in that state, awaken to the knowledge. What is knowledge? When I say awaken to the knowledge, means you are not doing any practice, you are introducing a knowledge. I have repeated many a times, my friend, satasangatve nisasangatvam. Long back, around 30 years back, even now, I read a text and my ego claims I understand. But when it comes in the practical life, oh my goodness, I didn't do that. We know. We claim we know. So that claim comes from that ego which is yet to be crushed. How? The verse is satasangatve nisasangatvam. Doing satsang, listening and learning again and again, starts minimizing the impact of the ego caused by the past impressions. So first time listening, but my ego says, no, I already know it. No, that ego should drop. And it says, okay, let me listen again. The moment the ego says, no, I have heard it, I have understood it. So if you are aware, tell your ego, let me listen again and find the knowledge. So what will happen? Think of it. That listening and learning again and again the knowledge of the Eastern wisdom, it leads to a kind of non-attachment. Non-attachment, or you can say dispassion, or you can say separating. Listening and learning again and again, the knowledge settles in the mind, and that knowledge returns with the state of dispassion. Oh, what a big deal! Yeah? What a big deal means your mind is attached to something outside, and suddenly the knowledge says, what a big deal, and the attachment drops. That is the meaning of satasangatve nisasangatvam. Now, if you continue the journey like this, nisasangatve nirmohatvam, so that detachment and dispassion leads to removing the delusion, wrong notion, that false notion that I am the body, that I am stressed, that I have the anxiety, that I have the fear and the insecurities. The first step needs to be done carefully. So remember all this. Keep that knowledge all the time living with you. Listening and learning means pick up any principle. And remember, you will see a state of non-attachment. Remind it again, from the non-attachment you see the false notion and it drops. Remind again, right knowledge that removing nirmohatvam nishchaltatvam. Removing the delusion means right knowledge lives in the mind. So why right knowledge lives in the mind leads to focus and purification of the mind. And that purification continues. What happens? If it continues, that leads to success in meditation, awakening to permanent peace and happiness. Love in the wisdom. Knowledge, practice. We are understanding the journey of the life practically. You are listening. Listening means learning the principles. Principles means knowledge. Knowledge is realized in stages. That is why we need to listen and learn again and again and again and again, until I find the change inside. Until the monkey found that it is better to leave all the bananas, otherwise I cannot bring my hand out. That is, monkey became a monk. Why can't we? So, now see that what we understood, that the knowledge is realized in stages. Why? Why? Because the mind and the intellect is living with the false notion. And these false notions do not go easily. And that is causing the problem of causing problem in success in meditation. So we need to continue the purification of the mind. And today, understanding the journey of the life, we are not going to do it very hard. Just start quick, short, gentle, chest breathing, as if you're playing with the breath. Casually playful breath continue. And stop it. Look inside the head or the heart. Become aware of any thought, idea, feeling, images. The knowledge is mind does not go anywhere. If you see, maybe you see that you are in US or you are in UK. The mind imagines with a thought, with an idea, with a feeling. This knowledge does not come so easily because of our deeper level of attachment, wrong notion that my mind is wandering. It doesn't go anywhere. Why it will wander? It imagines, I am good and bad, I am too far or near, I am in UK, US or India. Mind does not go anywhere. It imagines through thought or idea. All impressions are stored like camera. Camera takes the pictures. We can go back into the camera and check the pictures. Same thing with the mind. Oh, same thing with the mind. Okay. Did the mind understand? Yes. How do I know? Do the deep, silent, slow breathing. Not very deep. First you inhale into the belly, into the ribs. As you inhale, the mind moves inside the spine. And when you exhale, the mind moves from the tailbone to the crown of the head and the spine in the space. Did I understand that the mind imagines? We don't go anywhere. The mind does not go anywhere. It simply imagines. Is that knowledge is there? Yes. Is the mind now imagines that it is moving inside the spine? Very good. It is moving with the breath? Very good. But the mind invites other thoughts also. So we say use only one thought. As you inhale, you see the mind is moving inside the spine from the crown of the head to the tailbone. During that moment, you start singing Shantu Hum. Means I am the peace. The sound makes a sense, not grammatically. Shantoham. And as you exhale, the mind already imagines. So we are saying, imagine this. If you are already imagining, so imagine Shantoham. Imagine the breath is going in the spine. What a big deal. Breath is going into the spine. When it imagines and thinks that I'm in US and I think that I'm in UK. No. So we use the same fault of the mind, defect of the mind, to correct the mind. We use the defect of mind to correct the mind. If you are imagining, okay, continue. Shanto. And you can go further. When you're saying Shantoham, ask the mind to see the infinite space all around. What is all around, my friend? Everywhere, inside and outside, there is only one space. There is only one space. And you can do this practice with eyes open, maybe outside, maybe inside, with eyes open, also with eyes closed also. At present, for a few times you do it with eyes closed, and then you start doing it. Why? When you ask the question why and how, it means we should be very clear about the knowledge. So that one day you will find that you are looking at the things in the world and the people outside, and still your mind is inside. You will discover what it means by living within. Deep, silent, and slow. Now leave this, again go back into the state of doing nothing. Can you think of an object whose memory is not there in the mind? No. It is unknown to me. It means what? The mind retrieves that memory, it imagines and it thinks, it doesn't go anywhere. So when it starts thinking, it gets obsessed with an attachment, likes, dislikes, hate. Become aware inside your head. See, let the thought come, but you are not attached. Feeling comes, but neither you like nor you dislike. It happens like the traffic moving on the road you are standing across. What a wonderful state. That is how we live in the material world. We see hundreds of neighbors' houses, we go to our house. We see hundreds of vehicles, but we drive our car to our home. Do you drive your mind to the real home, the real self? Permanent peace, happiness, love, and wisdom. That much needs to be understood first and realized in the mind. These repeated impressions are working days and days, night, weeks after. We always, mind repeats like a gramophone record, like the same song. And that causes the likes and dislikes, attachment and detachment. And we forget the real self within us. Forgetfulness then starts seeking something outside the mind, and the sense organs are engaged. What we have understood, constant listening and learning, leads to non-attachment. Non-attachment leads to removing the false notion. False notion have left the mind. What happens? Mind gains the steadiness. In that steadiness and purification of the mind, we find the real self. We can apply a simple knowledge point at this moment. Any thought, feeling, sensation, images appears, you think, oh mind, be at peace, this will also pass. My master always used to say, oh mind, be at peace, this will also pass. What will pass? A thought has come. It has come to go. Past impression has come to go. Provided we are not attached. It has come to go. Why it has come to go? The entire world outside is in flux, constantly changing from moment to moment. Anything and everything. Anything that comes to the mind, you become aware. It is in constant flux, it is constantly changing. That is why, O mind, be at peace, this will also pass. There is a deeper and subtler layers of attachment by which we do not remember that the sense organs and the mind that perceives the world is in constant flux and constantly changing. In that state, when you live into that state, even with eyes open or closed, what is going to happen? You start the practice every moment in your life. So what is the next step, which is very obvious? You become aware of the repeated thoughts and actions. When we are attached, we don't become aware. Otherwise, you become aware of the repeated thoughts and actions which promote passion, craving, desire, attachment, anxiety, fear, insecurity. Oh, it is the thoughts? Yes, the mind imagines. We are living our life. Whatever actions we need to do it every time, every day. We are performing, we are playing our role. But now we rediscover which thought, which action leads to passion, craving, reaction, anxiety, and fear. Inside, first it happens inside, and then it is expressed outside. And after the expression, then we suffer. What happened to me? I should not have done this. Why these happens? Understanding the journey of the life and the practice, it happens, but first experience the head and the neck. Sensation, relaxation, and stillness. You have done many a times. Look inside the head and the neck. So your knowledge tells you if the mind still imagines, still has a thought, behind it you still experience the calmness and quietness. If the inner calmness and quietness is disturbed by anything from outside, then it is futile to do any meditation, useless. But if I remain undisturbed, calmness and quietness is maintained within. We evolve, not affected. So look at the right arm outside. Sensation, relaxation, and stillness. Inside, calmness and quietness behind. If there is any thought, is there, feeling is there, message. Separate. Left arm outside. Space, sensation, relaxation, and stillness. Inside, calmness and quietness. And calmness and quietness. You are standing calm, quiet across the road and traffic is moving. Does the traffic do anything? No. What is that traffic? When you are in the office, traffic is still there. When you are at home, traffic is still there. Look at the traffic. You are able to maintain calmness and quietness inside. Chest and belly outside. Sensation, relaxation, and stillness, and inside, calmness and quietness. Right leg outside and inside. Calmness and quietness inside. And the third part, traffic is going on. Why? The mind imagines. Then only we have a thought, feeling, sensation. I believe you are clear. You have been doing the practices for long. Now the time has come to live with that wisdom, to experience the sense of freedom. Left leg outside. Sensation, relaxation, and stillness. Calmness and quietness. And inside, calmness and quiet. Plus, traffic is there. What do I have to do with the traffic? And what is that traffic? Mind imagines. It imagines something at the workplace. It imagines something at one time. It imagines something inside the house, it imagines something with the relations. What I have to do? Traffic. The entire body, sensation, relaxation, and stillness. Inside, calmness and quietness. Plus the traffic. So it means the mind is living within. Mind declares, "O mind, be at peace, this will also pass." It is a traffic. Then the traffic is all the mind imagines. Mind does not go anywhere. No, but you seem to be right, but my mind goes everywhere. It gets attached. Whether we say, it takes me for granted. That is what I say. Work on the mind, or the mind works on you. How the mind works on you? By 5 defects. What is 5 defects? We have understood. I believe you remember. First is foolishness, misunderstanding. That is known as avidya, ignorance. And when we live with the false and the wrong notions, it builds up my ego, the second defect. That imagines fear and the insecurities in our life. Why? That leads to attachment and detachment. And the fifth one, the mind, then this ego sits in the body, it claims that I am the body. And we have created a 360-degree cycle to live in ignorance. Why to live in? To experience pain, pleasure, sorrow, happiness, anxiety, reaction, attachment, detachment. Fear, insecurities. We all have fears of one or the other kind until the awakening takes place. Check again, is the mind living within? Become aware of the entire body. Awareness of the entire body. Experience sensation, relaxation, and stillness. Look inside the body, living within. But when I'm living within, I see a lot of thoughts, traffic. Mind imagines. Don't take anything for granted. Become aware. Have that knowledge. Well, even if the thoughts are there, you are behind it in the state of calmness and quietness. That opens the door to the knowledge. Knowledge of what? That how to get rid of these defects. And that is what I have told. The righteous intellect removes the false notion that I am the body. Dispassion, intellect, dispassion, knowledge removes attachment and detachment. Love for the existence removes ego. And the knowledge of the real self removes the ignorance. What is the first condition? The first condition, the mind, first condition to do that. First condition, the mind and the intellect should live in cheerfulness all the time. Why? Mind imagines. If it imagines fear, I have no fear at all. Just go back, become aware of the sensation, relaxation, and stillness. Move the mind inside and chair, calmness and quietness deep inside. And on the surface, the traffic is going on. Thank you, mind. Continue with the traffic. See that? Frequency. Check, mind is living within, traffic is moving on, both are okay. What is very important, the mind is living within. When it lives within, it is detached. And then you look at the body, experience the sensation, relaxation, and stillness. Ask the mind, am I the body? Or is the body like the home where I live in? Our body is like a township where I live in. But how can I be the body? No, but I have never thought that It is not a question of thinking. It is a question of identification. I'm already attached to the body. So that is why we are bringing in the knowledge inside. The fifth defect, that the mind continues to sit in the body, claims I am the body and the body is me. And that causes impulsive, instinctive, habitual reaction in the world, causes the fear of the death. Fear leads to insecurities. Look at the body again. Experience sensation, relaxation, and stillness. Then introduce the knowledge to the mind, intellect. What body is composed of? What is the material by which the body is made? From the food. What is the food? Food is a matter. How do you know? Food is protein, carbohydrate, fat, minerals, vitamins. All are matter. Matter is inert. It cannot be conscious. It becomes conscious when it comes in contact with the real self. We think. So when you think like this, you may say, okay, when the mind imagines so many things, let it imagine what is right. So when you think like this, the knowledge reveals in the intellect, I am not the body. You have a clarity and experience that I am not the body. Go back again. Experience sensation, relaxation, and stillness. Body outside. And move the mind inside. Experience calmness and quietness. I told you, we can do this practice with eyes open and closed. You can start thinking the way you are listening to me. And from the day one, you'll find a sense of freedom. So, living inside, calmness and quietness is the reference point, and then, traffic is going on. Mind still imagines, no worries. It imagines fear, insecurities, thoughts of all kinds from the past. No worries. What is most important? That we are living within. From living within, you are looking at the traffic of the thoughts. That traffic of the thoughts in the mind is the world outside. When you listen to it again and again, you will find out what points and deeper principles I have integrated. So you are living within. So the mind says, no, but within myself, I see lot of thoughts, feel. Okay. What I'm saying? You are living within calmness and quietness, and you are seeing the traffic. So mind imagines that traffic inside, which comes from the outside world, where it is coming. It is only coming because of attachment, detachment, likes, dislikes. Does your mind repeat whale, whale, whale fish? No, because there is no attachment to it. Look at it. Everything is so easy. So my attachment and detachment, likes and dislikes, my likes and dislikes is based on likes and dislikes. But if I have neither likes and dislikes for the whale, maybe think of Mongolia, no. So it means whatever the mind imagines is coming from the defect in the mind. What is the defect? The likes and dislikes. What should I do? I have realized the defect. What I have to do? Nothing. To tell you frankly, when you do nothing, you simply watch. They are separate from you. The attachment and detachment goes away. Detachment and attachment goes away. Well, go deeper from this, enjoy that state. Live into the state of sensation, relaxation, and stillness. Calmness and quietness is inside. Living within is inside. At the same time, you are understanding the journey of the life. The mind imagines, mind creates. Then my mind leads to 5 defects. Ignorance, ego. We'll talk about ego. We'll do the practice with pertaining to the ego next time. And you know the defect of the mind. You separate yourself, living within, separating the traffic. Peace and happiness is here and now. It will remain forever. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bring your mind on the right hand, your mind on the left hand. Lift your both the palms, place it on your eyes, open the eyes inside, know your experiences.